actually 21, 22, I would, my golly, put on something that had a tight waist.
At 90, Shirley MacLaine is revealing the truth behind her rocky relationship with her brother, Warren Beatty. Though she called him the beautiful one, they spent years not speaking, fighting over their father's drinking, UFOs, and Hollywood jealousy. Now, she confesses what truly tore them apart. Born on April 24, 1934, in Richmond, Virginia, Shirley grew up in a household where discipline and creativity clashed. Her father, Ira Beatty, was a strict psychology professor, while her mother, Kathleen, a dreamy drama teacher, encouraged the arts. Shirley had to be independent early on. By 11, she was riding public transport alone to school and ballet class, determined to carve her own path. Her passion for performing started young. Enrolled in ballet to strengthen her weak ankles, dance became her escape. By 16, she was performing with the Washington School of Ballet. When she broke her ankle before a show, she tightened her ribbons and danced through the pain, a resilience that would define her career. Shirley was also fiercely protective of Warren, who was born in 1937. They spent hours at the movies, dreaming of Hollywood. Though their careers took different turns, their bond remained. Even when Warren faced the infamous Oscar mix-up in 2017, Shirley empathized with his struggle. School never felt like her calling. At 18, she left Washington Lee High School in Arlington, Virginia, and moved to New York to chase Broadway dreams. She landed in the chorus of Me and Juliet, 1953 to 54, then became Carol Haney's understudy in The Pajama Game. Knowing this was her shot, she even cut her hair to match Haney's look. Fate intervened when Haney broke her ankle. With little preparation, Shirley stepped in and stole the show. Among the audience that night was comedian Jerry Lewis, who urged producer Hal B. Wallace to see her perform. Impressed, Wallace signed her to a 5-year contract with Paramount. Her Hollywood journey began with Alfred Hitchcock's The Trouble with Harry, 1955, earning her a Golden Globe for New Star of the Year. Originally Shirley MacLaine Beatty, she adopted her mother's maiden name, MacLaine, avoiding a conflict with another actress. The name change marked the beginning of an extraordinary career. Shirley MacLaine wasn't the only one in her family to change her name. Her younger brother, Henry Warren Beatty, became Warren Beatty when he entered Hollywood, but Shirley had already proven herself by the late 1950s. In 1958, she earned her first Oscar nomination for Some Came Running, starring alongside Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. Playing the vulnerable but resilient Ginny Moorhead, her performance was unforgettable, turning what could have been a simple character into one full of depth. Known for bold choices, Shirley shocked many when she turned down the role of Princess Leia in Star Wars, 1977. But she never regretted it. Sci-fi wasn't her passion. She was drawn to emotionally complex roles. And in 1960, she delivered one of her best performances in The Apartment, playing Fran Kubelik, a troubled elevator operator. The film won 5 Oscars, and Shirley earned a nomination for Best Actress. She continued breaking barriers. In Irma la Douce, 1963, she played a Parisian prostitute, earning another Oscar nod. Hollywood tried to box her in as a tomboyish sex symbol, but she fought for serious roles. Training under Lee Strasberg at the Actors Studio, she landed The Children's Hour, 1961, where she played a teacher accused of a forbidden relationship. It was groundbreaking and proved her range. By the 1970s, she had multiple Oscar nominations, but she wasn't done pushing boundaries. In 1976, she starred in Sybil, portraying a woman with dissociative identity disorder, a role that changed how Hollywood depicted mental illness and earned her an Emmy. The following year, The Turning Point, 1977, challenged her again as she played a former dancer, grappling with lost dreams. Then, in 1983, after 5 Oscar nominations, she finally won. Her performance as Aurora Greenway in terms of endearment was raw, powerful, and deeply moving. The film grossed $165 million worldwide and won 5 Oscars. When accepting her award, she declared, "I deserve this," a victory not just for one role, but for years of fearless choices. In 1954, Shirley married producer Steve Parker. but their marriage was anything but traditional. 2 years in, Parker moved to Japan while Shirley built her Hollywood career. They lived apart for nearly 3 decades in what she openly described as an understanding relationship. Their marriage was an open one, a rarity at the time. Shirley believed love wasn't about ownership, and while the public was shocked, she insisted their setup kept them together longer. Throughout their 28-year marriage, she had high-profile affairs, including one with French politician François Mitterrand. She never saw these relationships as betrayals, just part of her belief in personal freedom. However, motherhood was more complicated. Her daughter, Stephanie Sachi Parker, was raised in Japan while Shirley pursued her career. Sachi later claimed she felt abandoned, writing about it in her memoir, Lucky Me. Shirley denied some of the claims, but admitted balancing career and motherhood was a struggle. By 1982, her marriage ended. Not because of the open arrangement, but because Parker had secretly fathered a child with a Japanese geisha. Shirley saw secrecy as the real betrayal, not infidelity. Even after their divorce, she spoke warmly of him, calling him the love of her life. Shirley and Warren Beatty shared a household, but walked very different paths. Their biggest conflict? Shirley's openness about their family. In her writings, she detailed their father's drinking and controversial views, which Warren believed should have stayed private. The tension didn't end there. When Shirley joked about Warren's love life on an Oscar telecast, he was furious. Despite their differences, their relationship remained one of Hollywood's most fascinating sibling dynamics, filled with love, rivalry, and a shared passion for storytelling. Early on, Shirley MacLaine underestimated her younger brother, Warren Beatty. She once called him the beautiful one, failing to recognize his acting potential. While she pursued ballet, Broadway, and film, Warren kept his ambitions secret. At 17, watching Shirley perform in The Pajama Game, he had a revelation about the power of performance, but he didn't tell anyone. At first, Shirley assumed he had no real interest in acting, as he was more focused on sports. That changed in 1961, when Splendor in the Grass made him a star, proving he had more than just good looks. By 1967, Warren wasn't just acting, he was producing. Bonnie and Clyde nearly brought the siblings together on screen, as Shirley was a strong contender for Bonnie Parker. But once Warren cast himself as Clyde, the producers replaced her with Faye Dunaway, fearing real-life siblings playing lovers would be too uncomfortable. The film became a cinematic milestone, earning 10 Oscar nominations. Shirley wasn't bitter, but always wondered why she and Warren never worked together again. Outside of Hollywood, they couldn't have been more different. Warren was a notorious ladies' man, dating Natalie Wood, Julie Christie, and Madonna. Shirley, on the other hand, was drawn to spirituality, reincarnation, and metaphysics. She often teased Warren about his fear of commitment, once joking he can't even commit to dinner. But when he finally married Annette Bening in 1992, Shirley fully supported him, calling Bening the perfect gal for him. Shirley MacLaine's spiritual awakening began in 1952 in Washington, D.C., when she witnessed something strange in the sky. It was during the famous UFO sightings that year, events tracked on radar and reported nationwide. For Shirley, it wasn't just a news story, it was life-changing. Shirley MacLaine and Warren Beatty, the only siblings in Hollywood history to both win Oscars, took vastly different paths to success. Shirley, now 90, embraced acting, writing, and spirituality, fearlessly sharing her beliefs about UFOs, past lives, and metaphysics. Her 1983 bestseller, Out on a Limb, made her a major voice in the New Age movement, despite public skepticism. Warren, 87, built his career on creative control, starring in and producing classics like Bonnie and Clyde. He won Best Director for Reds, 1981, and remains one of the few to be nominated for acting, writing, directing, and producing twice. With a combined 20 Oscar nominations and a net worth of $120 million, they shaped Hollywood in their own ways. One grounded in reality, the other reaching for the stars. Shirley MacLaine and Warren Beatty took different paths, but both became legends. Shirley, now 90, still acts, with People Not Places, 2026, possibly her last film. Warren, 87, retired after Rules Don't Apply, 2016.